was 6, I woke up in the middle of the night when I heard another child's voice at the end of my bed. I looked down, and sure enough, there was a little girl kneeled at the end of my bed praying. At first, I thought I was having one of those weird dreams where you wake up multiple times in different scenarios. So I just laid back down, closed my eyes, and waited for the next part of the dream. But nothing happened, and the praying kept going. So I finally asked, "Who are you? What are you doing?" But she didn't answer. Instead, she got up and ran. She seemed to know her way around the house. She knew the exact book to pull on the bookshelf in the den to make it open up to expose the attic stairs. My 6-year-old self paused and said, "My mommy said I can't go up there, it's dangerous without an adult." But the little girl kept going, and I didn't want her to be alone, so I climbed the stairs after her. When she reached the top of the stairs, she quickly took a sharp right turn and vanished. I reached the top of the stairs, and no one was there. But I did see a little toy chest tucked away in the right corner. I wandered over to it, figuring I was already in trouble if my mom or dad woke up. I might as well go for the gold. The chest had a lock on it, and I tried wiggling it around, and even tried using an old hammer that was sitting in the opposite corner. But nothing was opening this trunk. I was little, but this trunk wasn't huge at all, maybe a little bigger than a shoebox, so I was determined to bring it downstairs with me. It took me probably half an hour to get it all the way down the stairs and close the stairway up, but I did it. I set the toy trunk under my bed so no one could find it and went back to sleep. Later that night, I heard a scraping sound. I couldn't place what the sound was, but I knew it was coming from under my bed. I knew I would be in major trouble if my mom or dad found the chest under there, so I was scared to look down on my floor, half expecting to see an adult down there. There was no one, but the chest was slowly inching out from under the bed. I accidentally sneezed and heard a clanking noise. I didn't know it was possible, but I must have scared whoever or whatever was moving the chest, because I heard something metal cling to the floor and the chest stopped moving. I crawled out of bed and onto the floor where I thought I saw something shiny, but there was barely any light except the glow from my little nightlight feet away. I felt around and grabbed the metal piece, realizing it was a key. Whoever was in here was clearly trying to open the chest, maybe to show me something, or maybe to make sure I didn't see something. Since I had the key now, I opened it, because as with most 6-year-old boys, my curiosity got the best of me. There was nothing in the box except 2 newspaper articles and a necklace. I was still learning to read at this point, so the newspaper articles didn't tell me a lot. I'd have to ask my brother to help me with those. The necklace was a heart shape, and it was open with 2 pictures in it. One of the little girl I had seen earlier that night, and one of an adult, probably near my mom's age. I was about to close the trunk up and put it back under my bed, when it slammed shut in front of me. I jumped and slid it back under there with my foot, climbed into bed, and drifted off to sleep for a few hours. I was woken sometime later by laughter. There she was again, the little girl around my age. She was giggling and playing with one of my G.I. Joe figures. I asked her if she wanted to see all of them I had, but she either didn't hear me or didn't want to, because she continued staring forward at the G.I. Joe, giggling. For some reason, I wasn't scared. I felt surprisingly calm in her presence, which looking back was probably just because I was 6 and hadn't experienced much negativity, so I wasn't jaded. She returned numerous times during the next few years, never causing any problems, only wanting to play with toys or just be amongst people. Many of my family members have claimed to have seen or heard her, so she really just became a part of our family almost. I still have the articles years later, and in part, one of them reads, "A local woman took her own life Friday night, just 2 weeks after her daughter wandered out of the house and drowned in a nearby pond. The incidents remain under investigation, but it is thought that the 6-year-old Alicia wandered out of her house in the early morning hours, tripped on a rock, hit her head, and passed out, falling directly into the pond. She never regained consciousness. I think the spirit of the little girl just lingered in the home because that's where she was most happy. Whenever I would see her, she was giggling or humming a song happily. Ah, yes, another example of how open children are to paranormal experiences. It's amazing that at 6 you had the emotional maturity not to freak out. And it's so cool that she chose to show herself to you and your family. She could probably sense that you wouldn't run. I hope she's able to move on in the future and be reunited with her mom. If you have a paranormal story you'd like to hear in an upcoming video, drop it in the comments below or email it to the address in the description below. Please like the video and subscribe if you haven't. We're close to our first 100 subscribers. And with that, see you tomorrow, friends.